Iseya Update is a program put together to bring to you the updates of Governor Dapo Abiodun's developmental pillar as it's cut across all the sectors of the state economy. It is on that note that I'm welcoming you again on another episode of Iseya Update. Hi, I'm Moreni Keji Shobaleji. The Ogugondong Free Trade Zone is a conglomerate of businesses housed within a free trade zone in Igbesa, where a series of manufactured goods are produced for local consumption and exports, generating revenues, creating wealth and employment opportunities. The commercial partnership between China's Gondong province and Ogun State has continued to receive unimaginable boost since the inception of Prince Dapo Abiodun's led government in the state. Displaying his commitment to create enabling environments for businesses to thrive, Governor Abiodun picked up the construction of the abandoned road project in the axis based on its economic importance. This is to drive home his determination to fix and complete all projects that have direct impact on the lives of every citizen of Ogun State and residents alike. According to a research, about $3 million investment have been generated at the Free Trade Zone Limited, with over 6,000 jobs created. This, among other efforts, perhaps was why Ogun State was elevated to the 4th position, coming after Lagos, FCT and Rivers State, as the best in revenue generation between January and June in the state's IGR half-year 2021 rating.
Permit me to acknowledge and appreciate the conception of the establishment of this free trade zone in Ogun State. On behalf of the government and people of Ogun State, I commend His Excellency Otumba Gbenga Daniel, under whose administration this free trade zone was established. The establishment of free trade zones is a veritable platform to help boost economic development of any nation. Its benefits are not limited to reducing the fiscal intervention and leveling borders between nations. It also increases commercial flow, deferral, reduction or duty exemption, improved compliance, inventory tracking, quality control, and indefinite storage. No doubt, the free trade zones have continued to develop commerce and industrialization in Abia State. This particular free trade zone is a success story, and I want to commend the managers of this zone. We are not unaware of the resultant effect of the free trade zone in terms of employment generation, poverty alleviation and job creation, local patronage, capacity building, and perhaps product varieties which in the long run put Abia State on the global map of trade and investment. It is noteworthy to mention that this facility has gone beyond the free trade zone to a community in its own class. It is a town, and as such, a comprehensive development of commerce, processing of good roads, manufacturing of variety of products with the use of local raw materials and inputs that have now boosted the economy of Abia State at large and our image. Of what benefit is a free trade zone that has great potentials but cannot be accessed, meaning there are no roads. The commissioning of this road, therefore, is another milestone in administration's march towards industrialization and economic development of Ogun State. This Lusada Igbesa Free Trade Zone Road is a practical demonstration of our administration's wholesome infrastructure development plan towards improving our ease of doing business regardless of which administration began it. All these efforts are directed towards ensuring that existing businesses continue to thrive and new ones are attracted. Today we pride ourselves for garnering the third largest foreign direct investment into Nigeria. The records are there for us to see. It's not according to me, it's according to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics.
The zone, as most people will remember, came to be around 2007, and the companies operating there have been growing since that time. I think right now we have over 80 companies operating there, and they are producing different kind of things, and it's quite encouraging. The idea and the purpose, the vision of the founding fathers of the zone, I would say to a great extent has been achieved. Yeah, definitely. Those things come from many sources. One is all of these companies operating around us here. They will employ our people. Our people will, generate pay as you earn, and then they will also, buy raw materials and all of those. And I think the intent of infrastructure development of the state government under is to also kind of attract private investment around us, so that that can down the line increase and enhance our revenue. So incidentally, I was part of the team when the whole thing started in about 2006, 2007. I remember the level of resistance, but I think that now everybody can look back now and say, oh yes, it's not, we may not have reached exactly where we wanted to be when we started, but I think the zone is on its way there. One is just to say that development has its own cost. As much as we want to take all the benefit and all the advantages of development, of having companies around, of having employment generated, of having house rent increasing by virtue of the people that are coming around there, it also has its cost. It has its cost in terms of utilization of land. Some of the things that we are used to, we have to shift, and that is how. I was telling some people some time ago that what to call Azo Villa today, Azo Rock today, villages some years ago, but development has come. So we have to prepare for that, and the only way we can prepare for that is also take some sacrifice now, so that tomorrow can be better for those people.
What brings public-private partnership is enabling government. Once you are able to provide the necessary infrastructure, the roads, electricity, water, and security, then investors will be attracted to come and invest.
The completion and opening of this project will surely be positive significance for improving the local traffic conditions, driving the development of the surrounding areas, improving the regional investment environment, and promoting the overall friendly cooperation between China and Nigeria.
This road is a symbolic representation of the positive dividends of public-private sector partnership. On this, I wish to commend the management of the Ogunguandon Free Trade Zone Igbesa, as well as the entire team of China Africa Investment for its commitment to the partnership towards creating a corporate and individual prosperity to all our citizens. No doubt, the construction of these 10.25 kilometer Lusada Igbesa Road in partnership with the Ogunguandon Free Trade Zone is a commendable project.
Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has said the residents of the state, particularly in Abeokuta metropolis, will enjoy a regular and improved water supply. Of course, these might not have been unconnected with the need to place premium on the provision of basic amenities as the hallmark of good governance, where people-oriented projects take center stage in the Governor Abiodun's developmental pillar, Iseya. This explains the proactive measure taken by the Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, to immediately fix the Arakonga water dam, and this has brought to an end the long-time battle for lack of adequate pipe-borne water supply being experienced by the residents of Ogun State. As it were, the fruit of the unrelenting efforts of Governor Dapo Abiodun in repositioning Ogun State are now being felt across the nooks and crannies of the state. People can now begin to enjoy adequate water supply, among other goodies promised by Governor Dapo Abiodun.
Five months after we had assumed office, we saw that there were quite a lot of issues, a lot of technical and engineering issues. And by the way, I must mention that it is this same body of water that goes to serve the Lagos State Water Works. Without this, the Adiyon and Akute Water Works will suffer, you know. So when we arrived here, we saw that the gates were non-existent. The contract to repair them was in place, but it could not effectively take off because there was a hitch. There was a need for there to be a platform that will allow for the engineer to safely carry out the repairs. So we had to effectively rework that contract and include, you know, that gate or platform called a cofferdam that now allowed the engineers to have the ability to safely install these 5 gates that you see today. So these gates are opened, they are closed to control the water flow as and when necessary. And they allow us to have enough water or optimum water for the water corporation to process so that the rest of us can have water supply. And that is what you have seen that has translated into the improved water supply scheme that our people have begun to enjoy across the length and breadth of the state. other issues that we observed then, the original gates were manually operated. They had to wind them up and wind them down. Now this one is electronic and it's automatic. There were issues of power supply. Corporation was owing IBDC bills. As a matter of fact, beyond the bills, the transformers were not functional. Neither was the generator commission. All those we immediately intervened in, and today power has been restored. In fact, power was since restored. The transformers were immediately repaired, drawing on public-private partnership relationship. So today there's power here. There are a few things that still need to be done, but this is remarkable progress.
By the time we concluded that rehabilitation, we pushed water. Now, the governor, His Excellency President Abiodun, thought it wise that having started from the beginning, from the basis, we need to take it through, up till the end, so that we don't miss out on anything along the chain. The next was for us to rehabilitate and expand due to explosion in population, expand the Arakonga treatment plant. What we did was abstraction impoundment dam. Now moving to the treatment plant for expansion from 86 million liters, from 82 million liters per day to 162 million liters per day. One of the major cardinal program of His Excellency had been infrastructure. And for us to have a very robust infrastructural delivery water supply is a major component of it. And for that, the government has left no stone unturned in ensuring that it supports the water sector in delivering this part of its administration commitment. And that's why you are seeing this. That's why he had to take it from the basics up to the fine finishing. And we have demonstrated capacity by commissioning the dam. We will soon commission the treatment plant, and then the reservoir, and then the reticulation system. And it is also important to mention that we have realized that we need to move to the next level in water supply commercial activities. So as we speak, we have taken delivery of over 7,000 meters that has to be connected to households. And in doing this, our rate collection system will change from mere sharing of bills to automatic water management. And then you have to, request for your water, pay for your water, and then you get your water. So we call it prepayment water system. We're also doing ultrasonic bulk meter installation, which means that we need to capture the volume of water we are pushing from the treatment plant to the people. And then we also capture the volume of water we are giving to individuals and how much individuals are paying for it. So it's a complete cycle of system.
The approach has been generally throughout the state, looking at the production side. How do we ensure that our treatment plants live up to their capacity? How do we distribute this water efficiently and of course effectively? And how do we generate revenue so that we'll be able to sustain the process? Then the other aspect of it is having done all this, how do we now ensure that we collect our revenue? One of the major problems that we're having in revenue generation is that of flag billing, and there's no meter. So the first step is to make sure that we meter all our customers. Billing system is going to change. It's now going to be seriously automated. It's like it's pay as you go, and it's the water that you drink that you pay for. So there will not be controversies and so on. So in a nutshell, there's going to be water supply. We just appeal to our people, to also be up and coming in the payment of their water services. With the water supply, this water doesn't come cheap. It is now very expensive to produce water, for these people, not even talk of transporting it. There has been chemical cost has increased tremendously. Power costs, we all know that is always increasing. Spare parts, they are very scarce and very expensive, and yet we have to be in business. So I hope our people will understand this, that the government is trying everything possible to sustain this, and we also require that the customers should replicate such gestures by paying, so that the burden on government in terms of water at least will be lessened to a greater extent.
The previous administration had awarded contracts, road contracts, and the contractors had actually damaged the water reticulation without it being embedded in the contracts, clauses that would ensure that the water pipes were repaired. Our contracts now have clauses in them where any utility that is damaged or affected by a contractor will be repaired by that contractor, so that we don't have this kind of situation repeat itself again. So we're looking at, the distribution, the reticulation, and in no time, I'm sure that the good people of Abeokuta, the good people of Ogun Central, the good people of Ogun State will begin to enjoy water supply that is clean, that is adequate, that is efficient, that is reliable, just like any other city worldwide.
Thank you.
With that, we've come to the end of today's episode of Iseya Update. Join us again next time. Until then, I remain your regular anchor, Morenikeji Shobaloju. Bye for now.